Women's basketball has all conference honors.
And men's basketball celebrates senior night.
All this and more coming up on the Penguin Rundown. Welcome into the Penguin Rundown. I'm Christina Stanovich alongside Monica Kurjan. Monica, last night was a busy night. You know, we had men's basketball, women's basketball, and this weekend's not better. There's softball, baseball, tennis, and golf all on the road.
You know, like we always say, our athletes don't get those same breaks that the rest of us normal students do. Next week is spring break, but once again, those athletes are going to be putting in the work, playing games, and just doing what they can to get better. And one of those teams that I'm going to start off with is women's basketball. The women's basketball team wrapped up their regular season last Saturday with a 74-61 win over the Cleveland State Vikings. The Gwins were led by seniors Allison Smolinski and Sarah Cash, who had 19 points and 13 points and 12 rebounds respectively. Chelsea Olsen shined, posting nearly a triple-double with 9 points, 9 rebounds, and 12 assists. Smolinski was named Horizon League Player of the Week for the second time this season for her performance on Saturday. On Wednesday, the Gwins hosted the quarterfinal Horizon League tournament match against the 6th seed Milwaukee Panthers. Visit YSUsports.com for scores and stats from the game. Leading up to the match, the Horizon League announced their regular season individual awards. Junior Mary Dunn was named First Team, All-Conference, and Sixth Player of the Year. Sarah Cash and Chelsea Olsen were both named to the Second Team All-Conference. Congrats to these three on their incredible performances this season.
The men's basketball team celebrated senior night on Saturday, honoring their lone senior, Noe Annenber. Saturday's game was the final of the regular season, but unfortunately the Penguins lost this one 89-80 to Cleveland State in overtime. Annenber had a standout performance, scoring a career-high 16 points. Here's what he had to say following the game.
I'm here with senior Noe Annenber. Noe, what was it like playing your final game here at the Beagley Center?
A lot of emotion, you know. First of all, I want to thank the band for playing the national anthem for my home country. It was a bit special, and, you know, kind of sad and excited, but it was a mixed emotion during this game. But I'm really proud to be here.
What was going through your mind when you heard that you're going to be getting the start at your final game here?
I just approached the game like it's another, you know. It's just a little bit special because I was sad and excited at the same time, you know.
So I know you've probably had a lot of memories here. What is your favorite memory as a Penguin?
Man, I got so many. Like, I value each and every time I had with these guys. Probably, you know, 6-game winning streak we had. It was really special, and I remember that all my life.
Thanks again, Noe, for taking the time to talk to us. Freshman Darius Quisenberry had another 30-plus game, scoring 32 points and making a career-high 5 made threes. The Gwins finished out the regular season 12-19 overall and 8-10 in the Horizon League. Quisenberry was named to both the All-Horizon League second team and All-Freshman team, while sophomore Garrett Covington was named to the Horizon League All-Defensive team. Quisenberry was the first freshman in school history to earn all-conference honors, and this marks the 4th year in a row and 7th time in 8 seasons that a Penguin received all-league honors. The 6th seed Penguins head to Oakland last night to take on the 3rd seed Golden Grizzlies. For the final stats from that game, head to YSUsports.com.
The women's golf team will return to action next week in Jacksonville, Florida in the Ben Bow Intercollegiate Tournament. The team will perform on Monday and Tuesday. As for the men's team, they will travel to South Dakota State to compete in the Jackrabbit Invitational. Our own Abigail Cloutier caught up with senior Jason McEwen to talk about the upcoming season.
I'm Abigail Cloutier with Penguin Rundown. So, what are you looking forward to going into the spring season?
I think we have a young crew, and I think everyone's going to be excited to get outside because we've been stuck in here for a couple months, and just ready to play outside on grass and be competitive, and we'll see what happens. So,
how are you guys preparing for this weekend?
Well, it's going to be tough because usually we have some time to practice, but this time we're getting down there, one practice round, and we're going to go. So a lot of us haven't been outside since December, so it's definitely going to be an adjustment, but we're going to try to, obviously in here for the last couple months on the putting green, but when we get there, we're going to try to put in some range work and, you know, get a feel for the greens and especially the grass, the Bermuda grass and stuff like that. And I think with our experience, we've been there before, and if the weather's good, we should be able to play well.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Jason. The baseball team hit the road once again this past weekend as they traveled to Cookeville, Tennessee to battle the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. The Gwens managed to take an early lead in 2 of the 3 games, but unfortunately were unable to hold those leads as the men were swept on the weekend. However, a bright spot throughout the weekend was senior transfer Trevor Wiersma. Wiersma went 4 for 10 in the series, hit 2 home runs, and acquired 4 RBIs. Junior Blaze Glenn also performed well, producing a hit and scoring a run. I talked to Blaze Glenn and Trevor Wiersma about what the team still has to come this season.
So the team is still looking for that first one of the season. Are there changes being made to get there?
The changes that just need to be made is, we've taken the lead in 8 of the first 9 games, I believe. So we're getting out to an early lead in games, but we're just kind of not hanging on, and we're just kind of losing focus, and our at-bats just aren't up to par as they are in the first couple innings. So we just have to stick with it and keep good approaches throughout the whole 9 innings of the game.
I think we're just got to stick to the process, trust the process, and everything's going to work out. We got a really good group here, and we just got to keep working, and we think things are ready to turn around here.
So 9 games into this season, what's the team energy like?
Team energy's been good. Throughout the games, we're playing some cold weather, but everyone's still having good energy. The dugout's good. Everyone's into the games, and I just kind of ask for any more in that situation.
Yeah, we're still energized. We played some really good teams so far, some really, some of the best teams in the nation, and we've competed really well against them. Obviously, things haven't, gone exactly how we wanted them so far, but I think we're still energized and confident for what's yet to come.
Thanks, guys. Over spring break, baseball will travel to Miami of Ohio to take on the Redhawks in a 4-game series, battle Kent State and Pitt for 1 game apiece, and then finally open up Horizon League play at Northern Kentucky on March 15th. For more on the baseball team, we send it over to Richie and Matt at the Roundtable for more.
Welcome to the Roundtable, everybody. I'm Richie Julian alongside Matt Ganser. Matt, as Christina just mentioned, the baseball team did struggle on the road, but they played some of the best teams in the country so far.
Definitely, Richie. I think the key for the baseball team right now is not hang your heads, not get too caught up in these losses. Their first 2 series were against first the 6th-ranked team in the nation in Mississippi State, and then the 10th-ranked team in the nation in Florida State. These are 2 absolutely elite squads, both offensively and pitching. They're much better than the average Horizon League team, and when you have so many young core players, these are their first few games. You have to play these type of teams. You can't get too caught up in it and just go with the flow in the season and see how everything goes.
Yeah, one thing that was a positive, though, in this series, especially against Mississippi State, as Blaze Glenn mentioned in that interview, was they had 8 out of 9 leads. And, one thing they couldn't do was really hold those leads. The bullpen allowed 54 runs in 9 games. So you could tell the inexperience of our young freshmen and sophomores haven't been able to stop the bleeding, especially in certain innings. And I'm going to call out the Mississippi State game. The first game of the season, they're leading until the 6th, and it was tied going into the 8th inning, and they'd allowed 11 straight runs in the 8th inning. And then against Florida State in game 2, they allowed 9 runs in that inning. And when you're allowing that many runs in a 1 inning, it kind of destroys the whole momentum of the game.
Yes, baseball is a mental game, and when you have a 6, 7, 8-run inning, when you give up that many runs, it's not only going to get in your pitcher's head, it's going to get in your manager's head. He's going to start losing faith in his guys because it's hard to keep the faith when you're just seeing the snowballing. If you see the other team batting around, and in that Mississippi State game, the bottom of the 8th inning, they scored more runs in that inning than guys that hit. That is really hard to not hang your head about. And I think the key part for this Penguins team is that what they did is they're able to learn from this. These guys have kind of seen what happens when they make mistakes, and when they give other teams opportunities, that they're going to take advantage of them. This is college.
Yeah, exactly. You said, they're going to learn from this. It's a tough road trip, honestly. They play the top 2 teams in the country. They haven't had much practice. They've been indoors at the Watts basically all preseason. But so far, the Gwens, their offense did not look like it has been playing outside. They were able to score first early and often a bunch of times.
And that is fantastic for numerous reasons. First off, it gets the guys going. It's always better to play with the lead. Doesn't matter whatever sport it is. When you have the lead, it's always easier. The momentum's on your side. You're not worried about trying to catch up or playing catch up. You're in front and you set the pace. That helps not only offensively but also pitching-wise. It gives the pitchers a nice little cushion.
Yeah, and you speak as pitching, and I think who we're going to take a little bit of advantage of is Colin Clark. 5.28 ERA, it really hasn't shown so much in these 3 games that he's pitched. He's the ace. He's pitched in every first game of the series. So far against Mississippi State, he only allowed 4 runs total, and that was in 5 innings, and he only had 4 hits and a strikeout. So, against Florida State, 5 innings, 5 hits, only 1 earned run, and 4 strikeouts. So he gets better every start he pitches in.
Definitely. I think that ERA kind of lies to you. Numerous times, especially in that Mississippi State game, the bullpen allowed in inherited runners, so that doesn't give you a complete story of how he pitched. I think my hope for Colin Clark is that he can develop a little bit more of a strikeout game. He seems to be a very ground ball-based pitcher, and with how guys are swinging these days with higher launch angles, if you could throw some balls down and away, they should start to swing and miss, but you don't want to change up his pitching style because he has been successful.
Exactly. I think he's one of the big reasons of why the Penguins have been able to stay in these games, especially against some of the top teams in the country. But they are returning home soon. They play March 22nd at Oakland, home opener in Eastwood Field. What do you think they got to do to get some wins down the stretch?
Bullpen's definitely got to improve, 100%. I think when you have a bullpen that is allowing so many runs, it's demoralizing for the team because when you know your starter's coming out and most likely the other team's going to score a run, it's like waiting for a disaster to happen. And that's not good for the offense and then offensively. Offensively, the Penguins' offense has been completely driven by home runs. And what does Billy Beane say? Just get on base. Home runs will not win you games. And if you continue to only score via 1 or 2 solo shots a game, that's only 2 runs. That's not going to win you games. And what wins you games, though, Richie, is hitting singles or doubles and just getting guys on base.
Yeah, there's a couple opportunities, especially against Mississippi State and Florida State, where they had runners on second and third with nobody out, and they weren't able to get them in. So I think against those top teams in the country, you really have to take advantage of every opportunity you're given.
Because those top teams are taking advantage of every opportunity against you. And I think some of those situations, like you just mentioned, youth came into a factor when you have so many young guys who are core pieces of your team. That's not a great situation to be in. I mean, in, again, hostile environment, you're playing such a talented team, it's easy to get in your head. It's easy to start pressing, got a guy in second and third, I'm going to be the hero today. I'm going to try to send this ball over the fence.
Yeah, that's some good insight there. And, we're going to wrap it up at that point. I'm Richie Giuliano alongside Matt Ganser, Christina, and Monica. We're sending it back to you.
Thank you, Richie and Matt. The softball team will be traveling to South Carolina this weekend for a pair of doubleheaders. The first will feature both the Rhode Island Rams and Bryant Bulldogs. Then on Sunday, they'll face the Marist Red Foxes and the North Carolina State Wolfpack. After the tournament, the Gwins will travel to play North Carolina Central on March 12th. Then the ladies take on Campbell on Wednesday the 13th. Good luck to the softball team on their busy week. For stats on these events, visit ysusports.com.
The bowling team finished 9th overall out of 18 teams at the Hawk Flight Invite last weekend. They finished 3-2 on Friday, 4-1 on Saturday, and fell 1-2 on Sunday for their 9th overall standing. Individually, sophomore Rachel Darrow and freshman Emma Dockery tied for 20th place on Saturday, and Rachel Ellis placed 23rd. Though they fell 3-1 on all 3 matches Sunday, the team rallied to force a 7th game in each match. The team looks forward to an improved performance when they play at the Music City Classic, March 15th through the 17th. Make sure to tune back in for those results when they come in.
Men's tennis will be in Orlando, Florida this upcoming week. Starting on Sunday, the 10th with Northern Illinois, Monday against Samford, Tuesday against Creighton, and finishing up against Fairleigh Dickinson on Wednesday. As for the women, they will also be on the road in California to take on Cal State Fullerton, CSUN, then Long Beach State. Good luck to the men and women this upcoming week on the road.
And now it's time for our favorite part of the episode, Penguin Play of the Week, and we're going to send it over to Chris Colella, who has more.
Thanks, guys. This week's Penguin Play of the Week comes from great defense turning into even better offense. Let's check it out. And it's going to be Cleveland State looking to push the ball up the floor, but poked away by Jelani Simmons. Pushed ahead to Nazbo Hannon as he throws the hammer down for the easy 2 for Youngstown State as they're taking on Cleveland State. Let's see it again. Nazbo Hannon with the easy flush as they took on Cleveland State in front of a raucous crowd inside the Bigley Center. Christina and Monica, back over to you.
Thanks, Chris. That'll just about do it for us here at the Penguin Rundown. For news, highlights, and more, be sure to check out YSUsports.com and follow us on social media on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter at Penguin Rundown 1. And before we go, Monica, Matt and Richie did talk about how baseball's coming back to Eastwood Field March 22nd, and I'm really excited to spend some spring afternoons out there watching the Penguins play.
I can't wait to finally see a game outside.
All right, that'll just about do it. I'm Christina Stainovich.
And I'm Monica Kurjan.
See you next week, Penguin Nation.